There's no surprises this week. We're all about BAM. You're watching the Podium. G'day gamers and welcome to the Podium, where we take a look at the biggest hits, epic takedowns and classic comebacks from across the world of esports. In the red corner, wearing the army green shirt, is Mr. Job Gilroy.
Hi, I'm joined by Bo Uche, who's not wearing a green shirt, despite what we discussed last week. That's fantastic.
No sweater unison this week, but I thought I'd come in Westworld cosplay instead.
Yeah, it's good,
so
it's
going
good.
with the cowboy.
Howdy, partner.
Yeah. No spoilers, please. I'm not up to date on.
Oh, sorry, it's a spoiler that there's cowboys in Westworld. That's my bad. Yeah, fair enough.
So we're taking a look at fighting games this week. So over the weekend, Battle Arena Melbourne, which is the biggest event in Australia on the fighting scene calendar. So lots of contests going on, lots of international guests, and lots of great action from Aussie teams as well.
Yeah, absolutely. It's the 10th Battle Arena Melbourne, BAM 10. They didn't use an X. They should have used an X, but it's okay. We won't hold it against them. Great competition from Australian opponents, international opponents. There are a couple of incentives to bring the best from around the world down to Melbourne for the competition, and it wound up working out really well. The first game we're going to look at is Tekken, which was a master level event on the World Tour this year, and that meant that the best of the world of Tekken came down, but in particular Southeast Asia showed up in force, including two players who came last year, Saint and JDCR, who play for Echo Fox. But it was Nee who took it all out from South Korea. What we're going to watch is him taking on Chand NY, and Chand just barely dodges a spectacular rage art from Nee. Let's watch it now.
Step here, just out of range of the jabs.
Oh, down forward two.
Sidestep this.
Gonna get the wall.
Finish it. There you go. Gets the combo. Here we
Bar
go.
fight again.
Eventually he's gonna hit. He's gonna keep going for it.
Right now he knows he's standing there. That means those lows are going to come a lot more powerful. Might see a little more out of him. There's that broken plate coming from Nee.
And Nee, not one of those players that will duck randomly. He's gonna always try to do things on reaction.
Oh! Speaking of on reaction, sidewalk, electric, but the wall
saved him here.
Chand alive.
And that's opening it up for the. Oh my! You pressed the button. Oh, what the hell?
Oh my God, he went under it!
Dead. Oh my gosh!
Yes, close call that one.
Oh, like the castergasm was worth it alone, but it was extremely close. He wound up losing. Nee wound up winning the whole thing. Went on to win the entire event and get the lion's share of the points, which is perfect for him. But to that end, Chand still scored a trip to Evo thanks to Twitch, which is an awesome initiative that they've enacted at this year's BAM 10.
Yeah, it's great. It's great to see Twitch getting behind teams and players, not just from a broadcasting point of view, but actually getting contestants, competitors to these events as well. Yeah,
it's perfect. It's such a good use of their resources, and obviously they'll get a lot out of it as well. But hopefully the players will get a lot, not just from the trip, but from talking to people like Twitch Australia who have a lot to tell players about how to go about their business and stuff.
Yeah, so combine that with the facts that Twitch is increasing its presence in Australia. It's investing in the talent here to go and compete overseas, but we're also getting those Southeast Asian teams which really know their stuff. Like they're the upper echelon of the competition, in the space. Really is a great thing for the local scene.
Yeah, it's awesome. It is fantastic.
And of course, there's more on offer at BAM than just the Tekken tournament. We've got some Street Fighter action as well with Somniac.
Yeah, so Somniac plays for Darksided. He was the highest ranked Aussie player attending, and he managed, I believe it was in the top 8, but he didn't manage to get much further than that. The strength of the players who attended was so good. The players from Japan and South Korea and Malaysia in particular. It was fantastic seeing some of the best in the world like Takedo and Valoran come out. What we're going to see now is Somniac taking on Brandon in a very close match in the losers bracket finals. It was
down to the wire.
Yeah.
Signs of an experienced dictator player here.
Nice.
Brandon with his confirmed. And again, Somniac's corner.
Out of frame oh. Didn't pop his V-trigger.
He didn't have it. He didn't have it.
Was that the
yeah,
last
he did not
moment?
have it.
Ah.
That was just completely unsafe.
Second attempt here. Here we go.
All right, you can do it. Ready?
Which way?
Stays in front, throws. He reversal. What did he get thrown out of?
I believe it was a teleport. If you try to teleport away.
Yeah, you simply don't get closer than that.
Yeah, it's a crazy way for it to go down. He obviously wound up losing to Brandon, who powered through until he was stopped as well. Everyone was stopped inevitably when they ran into Taquito, who only dropped 2 rounds over the course of the entire tournament, which is a staggering effort. Sorry, 2 games, I should say. Staggering effort. He was dominant the entire way through, which is, it's always fun to see.
Yeah, so the Japanese players, are they kind of the ones to beat in this space?
Sometimes, like especially in our area, in Oceania, they definitely are. They come out really strong and they manage to put on a show every single time. Obviously, legends come out of Japan, like Daigo. But yeah, still, it can come from anywhere. Anyone can get it really in Street Fighter. And yeah, hopefully, Somniac, he also scored a trip to Evo thanks to Twitch. So hopefully he can show off the Aussie skills over there as well.
Yeah, no, it's great to see. If we're going to be in Asia, it's great to see that this top level competition, giving our guys a chance to actually go up against them and prove their worth.
Yeah, it's the only way they'll improve. Ultimately, you can't just keep playing against the same people in your own region. And so, yeah, having the big sharks come over is perfect for us.
So we saw lots of Tekken action. We saw lots of Street Fighter action. Now we have Smash Brothers.
Yeah, Smash Bros. Wii U. We had to cut it off somewhere, right? There's all sorts of fighting games at BAM 10, but you gotta reel it in. Otherwise, we'd be here for 14 hours. Smash Bros. Wii U was particularly special. It was the other game that that Twitch was sending someone over to Evo with, and it's also special because it's sort of the last time that we'll get to see Smash Bros. Wii U on like, I don't know, on display.
Yeah, in the competitive scene.
Yeah, because the Switch game's coming out later this year, and they'll probably all move over to that as well. Anyway.
Will you be sad to see it go?
Probably not. No, I think the Switch version is going to be really interesting because people will be able to, bring their consoles along with them and play it on the go, and we might even see new ways for people to, compete with one another. You can pop those controllers off the sides and play it that way. So it might, really open up the game and open it up to a lot of new people, which will be good. Let's watch the highlight now.
Oh, wait.
Yeah, no punish. Wait. Where's Spaghetti?
Here we go. Grab. This is where he gets the damage.
Go. Back air. Only gets the back air. Yep, mixes up the landing. Oh, perfect shield.
All right, he's going to punish that. Double up air to a fair. Ooh.
Okay.
Right, back to the ledge.
Yeah, grabbing him.
Goes down throwing.
Oh,
up B. That's not a combo.
Oh, okay.
Great
Not
job.
Dead. Oh,
Calling out that roll.
he's going to be dead. Oh, he's dead.
He's fine. He's living. A crowd liking that one.
Oh, God. Oh, no, he's dead.
Down to Darp is going to take.
So that was Kanga Esports Ghost taking on Strix. Ghost wound up taking on the eventual winner, Extra, from Darksided in the finals, but he couldn't stop him. Darksided's Extra, he was even more dominant than Taquito was in the Street Fighter. He only lost a single game throughout the weekend, which is staggering. It wasn't in the finals either. I think it was in the group stages. It was bananas, and yeah, he really put on a show. One of the really interesting things is, Darksided and Kanga getting in and supporting these fighting game players. We're seeing more of it. The Chiefs picked up Big Heisama as well. We're seeing a lot of the local scene teams, local organizations getting behind the fighting game scene, and I think that's awesome. I reckon it's a perfect way to lift up our local players.
Yeah, and we are in the 10th season, 10th iteration of BAM, and with the last 2 being in the convention center, which is a big deal. Like, it's a big space, so
yeah.
You obviously need to bring your best to fill it and put on a good show. But they've done it 2 years in a row now. So if there is, like you said, tune in next year for the 14-hour live stream that the Podium will be covering from BAM 11. But in terms of what you'd like to see in next year's Battle Arena Melbourne?
the Street Fighter was a ranking event this year. Last year it was a premier event. I'd like to see it go back to being a premier event. We can see, the absolute best in the world come on down to Australia and leave it all out there. But I don't think there's that much that needs to really be improved, to be honest. I mean, yeah, I think if anything, the growth, the space that they're in and the growth that they're showing with the organizations, it just demonstrates how quickly the fighting game scene is maturing in Australia, and I think that's awesome. And also, if you're there, I mean, the crowds get behind it. It's such a special live experience. So
yeah, well, it's those arena spectaculars, right? That we saw it recently with IEM, and we see it with BAM. It's not just you're starting to see the real, like you said, maturity and like explosion, like in a real environment. Like it's really great to see fans able to go and see really world-class competitions in their backyard. It's not something that we get to see a lot in Australia.
And I mean, yeah, next year, if you're around, you should, and you're a fighting game fan, you should go. You can actually play these guys. You can, they'll just be sitting at consoles playing random people trying to stay warm until their matches. You can play some of the best players in the world. You'll get shredded, but you can give it a punt.
Yeah, good luck. So as much as we'd like this week to be all about BAM, we do have some Overwatch action as well, with one of my favourite Australian names for a competitive team, the Sydney Drop Bears.
Yeah, the Sydney Drop Bears competed and actually won the Season 1 finals of the Overwatch Contenders against Masterminds GC. And this one's special because Masterminds, they were crazy good all throughout the season. They went undefeated. They swept the Drop Bears in group stages, so they looked like they couldn't be stopped. And
well, it turns out they could be.
Yeah. Let's have a look at, I think it was Hollywood, where the Drop Bears continued their dominant run through the finals.
But in the back line, it's Squats going down to Color Hex and that Blade. They find two back. That could be okay. Yuki doing work, though, finds the support. A Kraken in the back line as well. Wants to use that ultimate. You can hear the Coalescence pushing through. This might be enough. The self-destruct on the point. Not going to find everyone, just pushing them off. But this is a different situation. This is not like when Masterminds were attacking.
Where's Cantus? You need to see this Transcenders coming out ASAP because Masterminds, they're dropping members, they're losing this point right now. The difference though is at least they touched the point this time, but that might not be enough.
Sound barrier now, and this might be enough for the Drop Bears to find the point. The EMP coming through as well.
And there you have it. So the Contenders series, it put up some great contests for us. How have you seen it overall, like the level of competition?
I think it's been, apart from a few hiccups, there were some controversies, players getting, banned for win trading and stuff like that. Really early stages stuff for any esport. It happens a lot. Apart from that, I think it was really good. I think it's a really good start, and we'll see it go to really good places. I am worried. I don't know how exactly. They tout it as this path to the Overwatch League, but I don't see how that is at this stage, to be honest.
Yeah.
That's not to squash any hopes and dreams.
No.
I just don't see that path yet.
No, and you look at something like Gfinity, which is about to roll out in days now, which has a very clear way for players to go through the process, improve, and get into teams. So it has a very clearly defined grassroots strategy. And then you compare it to something like the Contenders, where it's maybe not so apparent. Like the drop off in play from Contenders to the Overwatch League is fairly significant.
To use a basketball analogy, I suppose, the Gfinity is treating their elite series and their draft a bit like the G League and the NBA, and meanwhile the Contenders feels a little bit more like the NBL. And once again, that's not to take anything away from the guys who are competing, guys and girls who are competing in Contenders games around the world. It's just at this stage, I think they need to provide something more concrete as a path.
Well, it is early days, and at the end of the day, there's a lot of investment that's gone into it from Blizzard's point of view. So, and the fact that it's happening is the best thing. So we support it, and we hope that it grows from here. And the best way to do that is to have matches and have the league, have the Contender Series in action.
Yeah. Having games is better than not, and so anything like this is always welcome.
So there you have it. Lots of fighting game action over the week and a bit of Overwatch. And here on the podium, we have our finger on the pulse. We're close to all the action across the world even. And there's been a bit of interesting news that's come out in the last couple of days where Fortnite has decided to rummage through its couch and pull out $100 million to kick off its investment into competitive gaming.
That's not mucking around.
That's not mucking around. So in honor of such a tremendous announcement, we would like to announce that from now on, we will be known as the Podium Fortnite.
I'm obviously your host, Job, John Wick skin Gilroy, and this is Bo, default skin Uche.
I was going to go with Battle Uche, but I was voted down in the workshopping earlier. But serious amount of investment, with very eye-popping number. But we were talking about this off-air before, and it's like when you actually run the maths on it, it's not that big of a deal for a game of this size.
No, the number itself isn't that big a deal. It's the time frame that I think is like particularly surprising. It is cramming a lot of money into a small amount of time, and that actually means that there are opportunities here for people who are enthusiastic about competing in Fortnite. I don't know how it's going to happen yet. They haven't revealed any details. They haven't revealed details about tournaments.
They did just reveal that it's for the 2018-2019 season. We are in 2018 now.
Yep.
So that means that whatever's happening is going to be happening in the coming months. So like, it sounds like they've just gone, you know what, $100 million, let's make it happen. But man, if they've got a plan, like we'd really love to see it because it's upon us. So it is pushing into the competitive space. As a genre, I suppose, for a better descriptor. How do you think it will stack up? I mean, the money will make people like get involved anyway. But how do you think it will stack up from a competitive point of view?
It's a tricky one because battle royale games, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of RNG that goes into every single game, but I don't think a lot of people are discounting the possibility of Fortnite battle royale as an esport, and I don't think it is necessarily off the cards. If you look at PUBG, for example, a lot of the same teams repeatedly win. They win so much that you cannot say that RNG dictates who will win everything. Certainly RNG will, lean on the odds, make things a bit harder for you, stuff like that. But at the end of the day, the best teams will find a path to victory. They'll find a way to win. And I mean, that's the essence of competition, right?
Yeah. And it feels like, when you look at like the English Premier League with, Man City's, big owner was like, I don't know much about what's going on here, but if I just drop a couple of $1 billion in here, I can buy a team and I can dominate the league. It smacks of that. But it's equal parts. Well, it's equal parts exciting and terrifying, right? Because you're like, okay, great, like this is amazing. Oh, it's Fortnite. Okay, how's that going to work? And it's just going to bring people out of the woodwork because a lot of people will go, wow, $100 million, like, let's get involved.
Give me a piece of that pie.
Yeah. So maybe I'll have to change out of my default skin and be a bit more adventurous in my.
Just start practicing building stairs on top of stairs on top of stairs on top of stairs. That's all you need to know.
Well, there you go. Bo the Builder coming to a Fortnite battle royale near you.